Hello everybody, welcome back to Cookie and Hayden's. I'm Car Boot Chris. I'm a full-time reseller, selling online, buying at places like boot sales, charity shops, wholesale, online, arbitrage, retail arbitrage, you name it, I buy it and then I try and flip it online for a profit. And this is our lunchtime live. It's where we just take an hour out of the day to have a break. Technically, I've actually already had my lunch, but I scoffed that down in about 2 seconds. And yeah, we'll just have a little chat. It doesn't have to be reselling. It can be anything you like. We've got a special guest coming on in just a couple of minutes after I've said hello to you guys. But yeah, we'll have a good chat. Maybe reselling, maybe not. Let's see who we got in today. We've got Mike. Hi, Mike. And thank you so much, Mike and Francis. These guys made a cracking order off me today, some Disney stuff. So we did a good deal, and it's always much appreciated because eBay's a bit dead as a dodo today. So that's always good. Hi, Dave. Good to see you back, and I'm sorry to hear about your arm. Fractured arm, e-bike fell off into concrete. Oh dear, that's never going to end well, is it? Hope you feel better soon, mate. And you know, it's not too irritating or whatever. I've touched wood. I've never broken a bone like that. I have broke my little toe, but that's as far as it went. Hi, Antoinette. AMPR's in as well. Kathy, hi. Is Cherry back? Yeah, is she still wagging? Monkey Thrifter. Hi, Peter. Chris Tyler's in as well. Hi, Phil. Aaron Aaron on Facebook. Aaron, if you want to pop over to YouTube, be a bit more interactive on the old chat. But if not, stick where you are. Hi, Kevin. Welcome. Who else do we have in? We've got Sam just popping in as charity shops. As at the charity shops, have a good... Oh, okay, Sam, no problem. Happy hunting. Hope you find some stuff. Hope it's not too expensive for you. Simon. Afternoon, Chris. Afternoon to you, Simon. Welcome. New name, possibly. I'm not sure, but welcome anyway. Ryan as well. Ryan, hey up, Chris. All right. How are you doing? Oh, God. She's in a new job, right? And... what are you doing on here? Go and get some work done. You'll get bloody sacked. Left-handed Hummingbird. Just loaded the car to take garden waste to the tip. Oh, lovely trip. Hi, Mike. I've been chatting to Mike this morning, old school friend. Welcome. Good to see you, mate. Good to chat. Who else? Bell's a special guest. Could be. Armies, it's a glorious day and good to be alive. Certainly is. Night's Life Richards in as well. Who else? I think that's it, isn't it? And Courtney. No, we've got 49 people in. That's good going for a lunch hour live. Everyone's waiting for this special guest, which we'll bring him on in a minute. We'll bring him on in a minute. There's a clue for you. That's narrowed down the population a bit. Who else have we got? Aaron. Have I said Aaron? Aaron. Oh, of course. Aaron's now on YouTube. Excellent. You can actually see the chat a bit better now. See what I'm talking about. Simon says, me and the wife are just off sourcing down in the charity shops in St. Thomas. Well, good luck. Like I said before, happy hunting. Oh, we got Jeff in. Hi, Jeff. Jeff, welcome. Annabelle. Belle says, I'm sat in the attic eating lunch. That sounds nice. Watch out for the spiders. I don't even want to talk about it, Mike. I'm too scared to even talk about that. Fix it for reselling. Welcome. Aaron says I bought 4 vintage Furbies for 15 quid, but the batteries have leaked. Yeah, I tell you what, this is what you need. It's not water, it's white vinegar. That is what you need. Put a few little drops on the contacts. You'll hear it fizzing away. Then you can clean them. Get an old toothbrush, not your missus's toothbrush, and you can scrub them and clean them. That's the best way. It's funny you mentioned that. I was cleaning Annabelle's Furby yesterday. That didn't sound right, did it? Yeah, Annabelle had a Furby that she's selling on eBay, and it too had leaked. So I was cleaning it up for her. So just don't get your minds out of the gutter. Dave reckons it's going to be Z. Hi, Amy on Facebook. Welcome. You feel free to pop over to YouTube if you want. You can see the chat a bit better. Cherry's plane lands in a couple of hours. We're going to pretend to be out. Who did she go there with, Kathy? Just out of interest. I'll just pause there. Let's get our guest on. I don't like leaving him too long. So let's welcome Jeff to the stream. Hi, Jeff.
Hey, Chris. How you doing? Hello, everybody in the chat.
Jeff, in his normal alter ego or real person, you're okay with talking about this, aren't you, Jeff?
Of course.
Let's just start with one big question, right? And it's probably the one that everyone wants to know about in case they didn't know, is how the heck did you end up being Santa?
5 or 6 years ago, I was here in Raleigh, North Carolina. I was at the flea market, which I go to religiously every Saturday if it's not closed. And it's year round. It only closes during the state fair. It's held in the fairgrounds here in Raleigh. Raleigh's the state capital of North Carolina. It's a pretty small town. It still has a small town feel. There's probably 1.5 million people here in the metro area. Sometimes you hear Research Triangle Park. It's Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill. This whole area probably has 1.5 million people. But Raleigh itself is probably 400,000 or 500,000 people, and it's so spread out. It's like sprawling. So if you go downtown, it's bigger than a small city, but it's not anything like Charlotte or a real big city like New York or something like that. It's a small town feel, but it is the state capital, and they have the state fair here every October. So that's the only time that the flea market shuts down is during the state fair. So it's the fairgrounds. And when it's not the fair, the flea market's in operation. And I go out there because it's some of the stores that are out there, people are there every weekend. But some people, it's like a yard sale for them. They go out there. It's pretty cheap. If you're a vendor, you can go out there for $25 and sell for one day, or they give you a break. I think it's $40 if you do the whole weekend or something. It's about that. And so you can get rid of a bunch of stuff, or you have a lot more traffic than you would have like a yard sale at your home or your community you live in. But I go there all the time. Kind of addicted. I don't really resell. I just collect junk, really. sometimes you see someone selling stuff and they'll say, hell, I have a sign up that says, our junk could be your junk, And so I work at the phone company. I'm wearing my AT&T. So I'm taking a break for lunch.
No advertising on this channel, please, Jeff.
Yeah. But anyway, I was out there 5-6 years ago, and a man came up to me. This is natural. I don't do anything really to color my hair, my beard, what hair I have left. And he looked sort of like me, an old fat white guy with white beard. And he says, he's getting too old to portray Santa anymore, and that he was going to mentor me and teach me so that I could fill in for him as he's getting older. And so that's where it really started. And I got involved with the community and found a lot of times people will look at me. Dave Keefe, ABL Reselling, is a biker. I ride a Harley. So there's a community of people that a lot of people will see someone on a motorcycle or a big burly guy with a big beard, and they'll say, stay away from him, children. He looks like a biker. He might be Hell's Angel or something terrible. And so you do get that from a lot of the population. But I'm telling you, you put on a red suit and ho ho ho, or have something Christmas related looking. People just do not question it. And I started playing it up a little more. I'll style my beard and my mustache so I don't look quite as homeless. I look more jovial, more approachable, I guess. And so there's so many people just in this area. There's 35 or 40 of us that get together every month. And the people that have been doing Santa Claus Betrayal for many years, some of them as many as 50 years, they get together and tell stories of what works for them, what things trip them up. And it's been a wonderful community. I'm kind of a newcomer, so I've been doing this for 5 or so years. And just by connections to people that I've met and people that are willing to mentor me, I've been in the right place at the right time and got some really interesting gigs. I'm the Santa Claus for the Raleigh Christmas Parade, which is one of the largest ones in this area. They advertise it as the largest Christmas parade every year between DC and Atlanta.
Oh, Belle would so want to go to that. I'm telling you now.
We've been doing that the 4 years running now. And it was just a matter of, actually, that one was my wife. She's a business owner, and she runs a little coffee shop here in Raleigh. And it started, as most things in my life revolve around the flea market. She started her business at the flea market in a little tent, serving, limited, espresso and pour over coffee. And it was more like an artisan thing to watch her. She had this thing, it's made in England. It's called Rock. And it's a manual, it had these big arms you squeeze down and manually squeeze the espresso. Okay. People kind of like watching it. And she's a people person. She never meets a stranger. She's really good. And she just developed a following. It's all cat themed. It's called the Bad Cat Coffee Company. And she belongs to an organization that does all the small businesses here in Raleigh. And those are the people that put on the Christmas parade.
Yeah.
And they were in a cycle where the old Santa from the parade left, and they were just looking for a Santa. And it was just, there are people that are so much better at portraying Santa than I am. I'm trying to get better. I try to do as good as I can, but
I'm sure you're very good. You're knocking yourself down a lot here.
I'm telling you, if you saw some of the guys that are my mentors, they're so skilled, and storytelling is something I'm working on. And I don't do a voice. I don't have a Santa voice. This is just my voice. I'm sure it certainly doesn't sound British in any way. So sometimes you'll get that from children that are from different areas. They'll be like, why doesn't he sound Australian? It's like, well, Santa, he delivers presents to children all over the world. So, when I'm not in the North Pole, I spend a lot of time in the United States. So maybe I sound like a Southerner from the United States. I don't know.
That's really interesting. It's interesting to hear how it all came about. And
yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's so much fun. And then it just grew and grew. I do quite a bit of work for charities. Any church or any military veterans group that approaches me that needs a Santa for something, I don't ever charge them anything. But if it's a big country club and they're doing pictures, or a photographer and they're making money, I'll charge those folks something. But I don't.
Yeah.
I have friends that own businesses, and I've been doing the same businesses over and over again, and then just slowly getting more and more clients. It's been a lot of fun. The phone company is really a good place to work. I make a comfortable living, and I get 5 weeks of paid vacation every year. And I have enough. I've been there for 25 years. I've got enough seniority that I can take the vacation when I want it, pretty much. And so I just save all of my vacation. I didn't take any time off through the first part of the year, and then I take everything from right around Thanksgiving to the end of the year.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wondered if you do that. Obviously, because it gets really busy for you coming up to Christmas. So yeah.
And it's allowed me to go places. One of the first years, I just same thing, right place, right time. A friend of mine who is a military veteran, a Vietnam veteran, had a conflict, and this is kind of sort of what the network of mentors and young and old, and just this community of Santa Claus Betrayal artists, as they like to be known. He had a conflict. He had two. He just got his schedule mixed up, and he had 2 things that he wanted to do, and he can't be in 2 places at one time. Santa's magical, but Santa Claus Betrayal artists are real people, and you can really only do one thing at a time, especially if they're. One of the one he had was actually working with a 501c3 charitable organization called the Spirit of Liberty Foundation, and what they were doing was they were escorting Pearl Harbor survivors back to Hawaii for the remembrance of the December 7th, 1941 Pearl Harbor bombing. And so, but I was just a brand new Santa, and I got this gig to go up there, and I was dressed like military Santa. It's another outfit that my wife Tracy had made for me. It's just a military camouflage outfit with fur. A lot of fun. And we escorted a gentleman named Ray Chavez from San Diego out to Hawaii, Honolulu, and Pearl Harbor, and escorted him for the December 7th. It's not really a celebration. It's a commemoration because a lot of people, of course, died there. But he was 106 years old. It was just fascinating to be able to meet some of those World War II heroes. But he was for the bombing, and still sharp as a tack. He wasn't as mobile as you and I are, but he was certainly with it. He still remembered all the details, and it was just fascinating to listen to his stories. And of course, here I am, Santa Claus in Hawaii, and it's just a tourist mecca. There are people from all over the world that go to Hawaii. So I took thousands of pictures with people. So it was my first break, and you kind of feel like Belle was telling the story the other day in the live about someone recognizing her and calling her by name at a boot sale.
Yeah,
it kind of takes you by surprise. Because, everybody knows Santa is, and most people kind of, if you dress like Santa, you look like Santa, they're just accepting you're Santa. But it certainly is a weird feeling when people are approaching you and saying hi, or someone, half the people will just come up and give you a big hug. Oh, I love you, Santa. You feel like you're a rock star, So
that's great. Some great stories. So Jay here says, why did I not get presents, Mr. Santa?
You gotta really, really be good. You probably thought you were good, but there's probably something you maybe you overlooked. You weren't quite as good as you thought you were.
Oh, Jay been naughty boy. Kathy says Jeff is the real hog father. And Belle has it as number 1 now on her bucket list. What? Have I missed something there? I think I've missed something.
Traveling to Hawaii, maybe?
Oh, it could be, yeah. Or maybe it's when we were talking about the Santa parade. That might have been that.
Yeah, that parade in downtown Pearl. I'm saying Pearl Harbor, but I think it was actually downtown Honolulu. They're right beside each other, but that was that was my first parade. It was pretty cool. I was on the back of a flatbed, big old truck.
Oh yeah.
And unfortunately, Mr. Chavez did not feel up to it, and so it was just me waving to the crowd. I don't know if you've ever been in a parade, but you do this for 3 hours. You switch to this hand for a while, and well, you're going to see so many people on the parade route. You don't want to miss someone, so I end up turning and waving over here, and then turning to this side and waving to the people over here. And it's a lot of fun, though. It's a lot of fun.
Well, I said to Belle when we were in Disney Paris, because they do 4 parades a day at Disney Paris now at the minute, like four a day. And I said to her, Jesus, what must it be like for them having to do that, for dancing around, jumping up and down, waving at everybody, doing that like 4 times a day.
We lived in Orlando, Florida, when I was in the Navy, 10 years in the United States Navy, before I found the phone company. But when we were in Florida, my children were little guys. They were 3 and 4 when we moved down there. So they were just the age where Disney is just such a fun place for little guys. And we got season passes. And so it's so expensive.
Yeah.
Back then in the late 80s, early 90s, it was expensive, but it wasn't like it is now. But I think we ended up getting season passes. Children under a certain age are free, and the season pass had some perks to it. You could park for free.
Yeah.
And it was really reasonable. If you went there 2 or 3 times, you paid for
You're done. Yeah.
the annual pass. And so we would get the annual pass, and then we would just go out there and do one thing. We'd go do one thing the kids wanted to do, and then we would leave. Now, if you pay, whatever it is, $90, $100 to get in for one day, well, you can't just go do one thing.
Yeah.
You feel like you got to get there when they open, and you got to stay into, when they close at midnight or whatever.
Exactly.
You got an annual pass. You just go out there and do one thing. You don't pay to park.
Yeah.
You leave. Go out there right after a rain shower. In Florida, in the Orlando, Central Florida, in the summer, you could almost set your watch by it. It's like 4:15. Yeah. It rains for 10 minutes.
Definitely, yeah.
And then it stops.
Found that loads of times, yeah.
You just go out there, and the crowd kind of thins out, so you could go and do one thing and leave, and not feel like you wasted your money. We had a blast down there. My kids.
That's great. I'd love that. If I was going to live anywhere in the States, I would definitely live in Florida. I love it.
Yeah, the weather is definitely top notch. I think Southern California is probably beating it because the humidity is so high down in Florida. California is really, really super hot, but very low humidity. It's kind of like Arizona and New Mexico.
Yeah. Somebody was saying, I think it was Tommy Bernard. He was saying that San Diego is probably the best weather climate in the US. Is that right? Do you reckon?
San Diego's pretty nice. All of Southern California is just beautiful. The beaches are, phenomenal. You get up to Northern California now, the beaches are a little cooler. I see Dave Repairs wants to know a favorite Christmas movie. Of course, the English spelling with the extra O there, I guess. Once I see it spelled that way, I can't remember how I'm supposed to spell it. I can't spell anything. If it's got more than 3 letters in it, I got to look it up. So many to choose from. I love Elf. Elf is really good. The ones that Netflix had on with Goldie Hawn and
oh yes, the what was that called now? There was 2, wasn't there?
Yeah, the Christmas Chronicles, and I'm just drawing a blank. Can't think of the guy's name, but he played Snake in Escape from New York. I'm getting so old. I can't remember names. Anyway, Goldie Hawn's husband. Someone's in there's in the chat knows. Maybe not. But anyway, Christmas Chronicles, Elf. But there's so many classics, Miracle on 42nd Street, 34th Street.
Yeah, it's classics. I love
of course, the the debate whether or not Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Of course, it is.
No, I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
It happens during Christmas, so it's
It's
when we
set
always
at Christmas. I mean, if you're gonna say every Christmas movie that's set at Christmas is a Christmas movie, then that's fine. But
There's a couple correct answers. I think, according to my screen, Kath E has Kurt Russell. Of course, it's Kurt Russell. I know the name, but I'm telling you, I probably look like I'm 75, but I'm only guesses. Anybody want to guess how old is?
well, you're not retired yet, so you're still working. I would guess at 60.
I'll be 55 this year, but you're in the ballpark.
I'm not far off.
Yeah. I'm Sammy Hagar. I can't drive.
Problem is, it's the beard and everything. It kind of makes you look a bit older.
The funny thing is, sadly, my dad passed away in 1993, very early. He was just 52, but he still had a full head of hair. I've been losing my hair for, I don't know, a good 25 years. Oh, well. I just embrace the hair you can grow, right? Just if you grow facial, grow a beard.
Steve, oh no, she's not got a day off. She's at work, apparently on lunch break, but I'm not 100% sure about that. So the missus does a bit of reselling along with the cafe that she has. So what kind of stuff does she sell?
She sells a bunch of merch. So her coffee shop is called Bad Cat Coffee. And she does t-shirts. It's cat themed, so the original logo was a picture we took of my cat, and we stylized it. And then she made t-shirts with that logo on it, and she's really into social media. So she doesn't post things like if I'm posting something on Facebook, I'll just like see something funny or something I want to post, and I'll just post it right now. Well, she has hundreds of these things, and she sets up a schedule, and so it automatically posts things.
Oh,
so
yeah.
She'd be gone, and it just because she's put the time and planning behind it beforehand. It just posts she set it up to post for her. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I get you. That's useful. That especially if you want to have a regular presence on Instagram or whatever. It's definitely worth it.
But she'll do anything funny with cats, little cat video shorts, or just funny pictures, comics with funny cat things. And then she does quite a bit herself with our cat. And the merch that she sells is the typical stuff you'd have at a coffee shop. She has t-shirts with the logo. She has mugs. She does sell coffee, and my youngest son is roasting coffee for her now. At first, she was buying it from a local roaster. Now she's roasting her own coffee, and so she sells that. What else does she sell? Pins, stickers, just any kind of little merch you would have at
That's cool.
A little quirky little shop.
Yeah, that's cool. Laura says you could be a ZZ Top lookalike during the year.
Yeah, sadly, one of those guys just passed away, and I'm not sure which one it was, but yeah, I get that sometimes. I remember I was in Walmart a couple months back, and zooming through with my buggy and trying to get some items, and came around the corner too quickly, and some lady says, kind of startled, I came around the corner too fast, and she said, "Hold your horses there, ZZ."
Apparently, I'm on the naughty list now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What did you do?
I guess your age a little bit higher than what it actually was.
That's something that takes some skill, is to manage. Here you're talking with me, but not very exciting. But when you're normally showing what you found or doing a live where you're listing things, keeping track of how many people are in here now?
50 odd.
Yeah. So keeping track of what people have said and when they said it, and it'll be a comment you missed that really ties into something you said 5 minutes ago.
Yeah,
Like,
it's really difficult, Jeff.
oh yeah.
That's why sometimes I think somebody said before, I don't know who it was, but someone said Chris looks bored, but it's not. It's not that at all. It's because I'm trying to listen to you, but I'm also trying to read the chat and make sure that I'm not missing anything relevant. Yeah, it's difficult. And normally I have a sidekick with me who keeps an eye on things. So yeah, I haven't got one today. The UK has. Have you ever heard of Uncle Albert? Right. One of our main, most favorite soap opera type comedy shows in the UK is called Only Fools and Horses. Ever heard of it?
No.
So one of the characters is called Uncle Albert, and I'll show you a picture. So you know what they're referring to. Uncle Albert. So really, you just need like a sailor's hat on, I think, and you'd probably be there. Let's show you.
Oh. Wow. Yeah, the resemblance is uncanny.
Well, you've got a beard. That's about it, isn't it? Really.
He doesn't have any spectacles on.
Well, I guess without the glasses, maybe trim your beard up a bit, not so long.
One of the Santa mentors is a guy named Ed Taylor. He's real big in the Los Angeles market. He does a bunch of big celebrity things. He's been in movies, but I think he's actually lives somewhere in Washington State or maybe Oregon, up in the Northeast. And he teaches a lot of tips and tricks. So my beard normally is, I don't know, down to here.
Really?
This is a technique he uses. Basically, once it's wet, when you've washed, you got out of the shower, when it's still a little damp, you just coat it with really strong hold hairspray, and then you get a hair dryer, a low power. That if you got to find an old one that doesn't do super, it's got a setting that's really low, and then you just blow that hairspray, and then just kind of form the beard. So it's amazing the difference it looks like. It's real stiff and sticky, but the difference it makes when it's not normally is just straight down and basically look homeless. And what you could do if you wanted to, it's just like your hair. You could go to a stylist and get it trimmed properly so that it would just hang normally in a nice shape. But I don't know how the women do it. It's a lot of work. If you ever grow your hair out long, beard hair on, regular hair, it's a lot of work.
Well, I don't have much hair left myself, so
yeah,
it's going.
Hair is overrated, right? I used to watch a bunch of Star Trek, and when Picard, of course, he was bald, and you'd see these stickers. There was a commanding officer that I worked for in the Navy, and he had a sticker. I forget what it said. Something about, there are only so many perfect heads. You have to have to pull off a bald head. Some people just have a different shaped head. My
head would be no good bald. I would be no good bald because I've got like moles and stuff on my head, and it'd be like it would look really weird. I'd have to have them all removed.
That's why you get a hat. I lost my hat somewhere.
The Monkey Thrifter says, "Can you say during the war?"
Is that a catchphrase for Uncle?
Yeah, from Only Fools and Horses.
During the war?
There you go, guys. There you go.
Is that something he says all the time?
Yes. He says during the war, and then he goes on to give some long tale about something that happened during the war to him. One
of the recurring people that's always in your chats is Johnny 40 Coats. I didn't see him in here today. But Bell was mentioning it something. I was like, some of some of the British humorists, Mr. Bean, Rowan Atkinson, lots of greats that are just worldwide that I know. But I'd never heard of Johnny 40 Coat, so I looked that up. That's an interesting character there, isn't it?
I don't really know much about him. I don't really know much about the character.
It's based on a real person.
Someone needs to send Santa an Only Fools and Horses box set. It's funny actually because Only Fools and Horses is kind of, it really fits the reselling community because it's about a couple of brothers who kind of buy and sell stuff basically. Sometimes it's not 100% legitimate, so it's off the back of the lorry sometimes or from their mate down the pub. But it's about that kind of thing and their struggle to kind of make a living and dodge the law and all the little scrapes that they get into. It's very funny. You should maybe look it up.
Only Fools.
Only Fools and Horses.
Only Fools and Horses. I'll look it up.
Bold Finds has popped in. Hi, Bold Finds. And Chavez in as well. There's a few more people dropping in. It must be the right time. I had a return request today for a game I sold, a Harry Potter game on the Xbox. And let me read out the comment that came with the return to everybody. So it was a Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix Xbox 360 game. And they've opened a change of mind return. And this is the comment they put with the return. And it says, "Hi there, I play the game, I press the Y button and do the spell on the bad guy. And then it asks me to do a release the wand on them, but it won't respond to the game as I press it. But the game won't let me do it. And I was stuck in the game and then I was very angry and I don't want to play it again." That's it. I think I had a return from a 5-year-old.
Yep, that's the problem with reselling, especially on eBay, because eBay, I'm sure it's worldwide, but here in the U.S., they by default they just take the buyer's position. You know, they be on their side. They want to make it is because they make money when you sell things. They want to make it as pain-free for a buyer as possible, so that a buyer doesn't have a hesitation. Well, I can get this cheaper here on eBay, or I can go to Amazon.
Exactly.
eBay just wants
they want to keep people. They want to keep them coming back. I'm not bothered about it. I just thought the comment was, a bit ridiculous. But there you go. That's what you get on eBay. It's like a 5 or 10 quid game or something. It's not an expensive thing.
Yeah. Someone that I follow on Facebook posted the other day, someone opened a return, 2 months after they bought something for a pair of shoes. 4 pounds they paid for it. And they're gonna when I'm going around the flea market here in Raleigh, I have a standing policy. If I find something that I like that's interesting, and I ask somebody, how much is this? My standing, if it's piqued my interest, and I think it's interesting, and I ask them how much it is. If they say $2 or less, I just hand them the $2 or less, whatever it is. I don't quibble over $2. That's my policy. But people, some people out here really love the back and forth, the bartering. They love.
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter what you said. If you said this is 50 cents, this is 20p, would you take 15p?
Yeah. Well, people do that at the boot sales, to be honest with you. And I wouldn't say I have a policy, but I guess if something's £1, I'll just pay £1. I'm not going to say I'll give you 50p for it. But sometimes if someone says £2, I'll say, well, you take £1 if it's something that's really cheap. But ultimately, if I think it's worth what somebody is selling it for, I just pay the money. What's that you've got there?
This is some weird stuff. I got this last weekend at the flea market. This is a, I think Warner Brothers put this out, but it's a Acme catalog. And you can see Wile E. Coyote.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Anvil, Dynamite, Bear Trap, Iron Birdseed. It's full of different things that he would buy, and try to catch the roadrunner with. It's just fascinating. But just a weird little book. Once again, this is I asked because it looked interesting, and it was $2. So I was, per my policy, I was obligated to purchase that.
Because your policy. What else have you got
there? This is just a little metal. This is enamel. This is probably just a souvenir from London, but it's someone told me this is what the signs look like on the tube in London.
Yeah.
And so the busking, I didn't. I'm not. You can tell by talking to me, I'm not what you call an educated person. I did not know what busking was.
Really? What do you call it over there in the US?
Panhandling? I don't know.
Yeah, somebody who just rocks up on the street and starts singing with a hat on the floor for some money.
Working at the phone company, anytime I see a phone, I try to pick it up. This is an old candlestick type phone with a rotary. Still works.
That's nice.
And this is a key for anyone collecting anything with phone stuff. Usually if you turn it over, this will show it or not. I'll show it up in this other camera. You can see the little blue label there.
Yeah. Can't quite read it, but
anyway, it says Western Electric. Western Electric was a company no longer in existence, but they back in the day they manufactured all of the equipment inside of a central office that the phone company, the Bell system, would use here in the States. And they just made things differently in the early 1900s. They made things to last forever. That was just kind of their default. Hey, we're going to make this. We can put some cheap things in it, or we could make it bulletproof, and it will now last forever.
Yeah,
that's how they
don't make stuff like that anymore, do they?
No, they don't. Everything's built
throwaway, isn't it?
Oh yeah, for like the phones and electronics are built with the 2 or 3 year lifespan. I think is kind of what they do.
Yeah, they do it on purpose, don't they? So, do you collect this stuff, Jeff, or what are you going to do with all these knickknacks and bits and bobs?
I've got enough stuff to actually build a working, old timey phone network. Most of it's in my garage. That when I retire, I'll have more time to play with some of the gadgets. But some of it, it was made so that it would last forever. And someone's got it out of the flea market, really cheap. What they're saying is, I want to get rid of this. I'm not asking a lot of money. It's cluttering up my house. If I don't sell it, if nobody wants this is just going to end up in the bin. This is going to be in the trash. And so some of it, I feel like I'm saving it. Not all of it, obviously, but one of each type of.
Are you hoarding?
Yeah. If you came to my house, you would probably classify me as a hoarder. Hopefully, there's no hidden cameras here.
Mr. Garlic Man's popped in. That's a new name. Welcome to the chat. And Josh has got a question here. Chris, I have a question. Parcel insurance. Do you insure parcels to £20 or insure more expensive ones, etc.? I've just done £20 cover, but recently I had £140 Burberry coat go missing. Here's what I do, Josh, and everyone works differently on this. With every, you get £20 cover as standard. But what I tend to do is anything over £30, I pay the little bit extra for the insurance. The bit in between 20 and 30, I just let it go, and if something goes missing, it goes missing. But over £30, I insure it. Some people just put a little bit aside every month and say that's my insurance money. If anything goes missing, that's what I'll take it out of. But everyone does different. So yeah, that's what I do. Over £30, I insure it. And welcome to Steve-O as well. I meant to say hello before Steve-O. I forgot to let you know we were going live today. I know you wanted me to let you know. Is that the bell on it?
This was another flea market find.
Ah, I thought it was a bell on the phone. What the heck is it? Oh, how cool is that? Is it is it metal?
Yeah, it's real thin tin, Japanese made.
Oh, that'd be worth a few quid. That
you would think so. This was this is the amazing part of this is the box is still in together.
That'll definitely be worth a few quid. I think the Japanese made ones, especially because I think they utilized like post-war metal, from the the waste metal or something like that.
Yeah, we actually lived in Japan. My dad was in the United States Marine Corps, and we were stationed in Japan when I was a youngster. I guess from
what kind of year was that?
It would have been probably from 1969 until I want to say 73, 74, something like that. But anyway, different. We lived in Yokohama, and it's a little, there's a Marine Corps base, and then all the Americans lived in an American compound, kind of. It's been so long, I wouldn't know a number, but I don't know, 400 or 500 homes, government owned, and you just live there. Went to a normal American school, and I remember when I was a little guy, I would see all these Japanese people, and I would talk to my grandfather, who lived here in the States, of course, in Indiana. And I would talk to him on the phone once in a while, and I would hear his voice, and he's speaking, English. And in my mind, I guess I just never had seen a picture of him, but in my mind, he looked Japanese because all the people that I was surrounded around, but by Japanese, but he did not look Japanese.
Josh says, surely it costs way more to insure anything over £30 when it's about £46 over £100 items. One Burberry coat listed last year means I'm £140 down. Yeah, I mean, I don't sell much, Josh. It's over £100 anyway, so I don't have that much over that kind of value. Also, what you can do is, and what I tend to do is, if it's a high value item, I build the price of insurance into the cost of postage. So that way it's kind of not coming out of your pocket, it's coming out of the postage price. So if something's £30, instead of it being £3 postage, I'll charge £4, and I will build the price of the insurance into the postage cost. Have you got any pictures, Jeff, of your cafe?
I was trying to
I'd like to see some pictures from inside it or something. Oh, is this a website?
Yeah, this is her website. Bad Cat Coffee.
Let me go full screen on you. See that one? No. That one? No. That one? No. How do I do it? Oh, there you go. Got it.
Yeah, so there's I don't know if you ever follow a reseller here in the States that's kind of popular. His name is Kevin Brown, but he's the Commonwealth Picker.
I've heard of him. I think I've seen him on YouTube, but I don't really watch him.
Yeah, he's super nice. He's just up the road in across the North Carolina-Virginia line. He's He is in the town that is escaping me at the moment, but he's in not Danforth, whatever the name of the town is. It's where the World War II, not the World War II, but the D-Day museum is. It'll come to me later. I've got like a delayed reaction brain. 15 minutes, it'll just pop in there, and it'll be too late. But anyway, there's some. She did a whatever you call a collaboration with him, and that's his cat Boots. I think that's Boots. You can. I don't know if you can see it or not.
Oh, what kind of? Yeah.
The in the States, when they find a stray cat and someone brings it to a vet, they will mark it. They will clip one of the ears, and so you can see that.
Oh yeah.
I guess it's his left ear. It's clipped because he was a stray, a feral cat, and they rescued him. They spay and neuter him, and then that's a way you could see one that has been brought in before. If no one adopted it, you could just tell from a distance. You wouldn't have to waste your time trying to capture the kitty. And so there's this is a new logo that my wife came up with. She hired a local artist, and they did this kind of spine cat logo.
I like that. That's cool.
And she's once again, this was the collaboration with the Commonwealth picker, Kevin Brown. He is such a nice guy. He actually came to Raleigh. I think he has some relatives here in this area, and so he's here all the time anyway.
I really like that logo. That's great.
I think she's had more success with that logo because an artist did it. This other one, where it's just I don't know where I can find it. That one there.
Yeah.
I did this one with just an app on my phone that helps you stylize, black and white. Or this one was black and white, but that was my effort. And she used this for a long, long time. And now she's selling the swag with the new spine cat. This I think is much more popular. I think she's going to at some point make this spine cat the new corporate logo.
Yeah, I think with the spine cat, it kind of fits more the bad cat sort of name. It kind of looks more bad, if you know what I mean.
But I was telling you, she started at the flea market, and just in a tent, and we would go out there. It was a lot of physical labor. I myself don't drink coffee. But I do support her. Of course, I love my wife, and we've been married 34 years in August. But I was the manual labor portion of her business, and so we would carry our own water. There was no water out there. We would carry big 5-gallon things of water, and it was a lot of work. It was killing us. And then the flea market is just Saturday and Sunday. So Friday afternoon, we would go there and set up the tent, tie it down so the wind wouldn't blow it, and carry all that water out. And so she was outside in the flea market. The flea market has an inside portion and an outside portion. She was outside to begin with, and that was a lot of work. But she was having fun, and eventually, after like a year or two, she worked to get a spot inside. And so the weather wasn't nearly as much of an issue, not having to set up the tent and carry tables and all the stuff out there. We still set up a store. We had a big bar, and it was pretty cool. Once again, she was just growing her business, learning what people like. Your tastes sometimes don't line up with everyone else's tastes. Just for I don't drink coffee at all, so but she does sell all kind of, like you were talking about, the chai latte. So she sells tea, and she sells hot chocolate and products. But it's just now just a tiny little storefront,
Oh, that's good though, isn't it? I love the sound of it. I'd love to go and have a look at it.
She's did that at the flea market for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, and then now she's at this place called the Morgan Street Food Hall, downtown Raleigh. The downtown area is gone through a resurgence, and this food hall, if you were in an American mall, or they had the food court, 15, 20 different restaurants. This is just one end of this big food hall. There are probably 20 or 25 different. You could take 15 or 20 people there, and everybody could eat something different. It's really kind of cool.
Yeah.
But it's like the food court at a mall without the mall.
Right. I get you.
And it's just a tiny little thing. I don't know if you can see in the picture, but she's got some space limitations for what she can do. She does have 2 crepe stones, so she makes crepes. She makes all kind of sweet and savory crepes. She does bagels. Any kind of sandwich. She could fry eggs, but it's a limited number of things she can fry.
Yeah, sure.
The crepes are a big hit with a lot of people, and she does quite a bit of breakfast business. And
does she work on her own, or does she have staff as well? Or
yeah. When she was out at the flea market, it's really a model where they don't really charge you rent if you're selling food or concessions. They just charge a flat percentage. And there's a lot of margin in food and beverage, but there's not that much margin. And so under that model, what she found was she couldn't really make much money if she had to hire someone to work for her. Where she's at now, she pays a flat rent, and then you can structure. She's got a business degree. She's pretty smart. She's way smarter than me. As you can tell from talking to me, I'm really not that smart at all.
I can't tell anything like that. You shouldn't put yourself down too much.
I followed that up with saying in the 10 years that I was in the Navy, I operated their nuclear power plants. So I am just kind of teasing and jest. I'm so old now that I've forgotten most everything.
I've forgotten almost everything, and I'm not quite as old, and I don't mean that in a rude way. DK says, does she sell this kind of coffee? I don't know if that's a joke or what.
Okay, no, that's she doesn't. That's the cat. Sometimes she gets these questions because you say bad cat. This is a coffee that is harvested from. Once again, I don't drink coffee. My wife, Bad Cat Coffee, doesn't sell anything like this. But there are places you can go and get this. It's very expensive coffee.
But what's it made from then?
These they're not traditional cats, but it's in some faraway land. I'm not sure exactly where. But the cats eat these cherries, and they partially ferment in the digestive system of the animal. And I forget the name of it. There you go. Civet cats. So they have to be harvested from the waste from the I guess that's pronounced civet cats, but it's if you ever see it, Google that civet cat. It's this whole process kind of makes you not want to not try it, but it's something about the fermentation that happens in their digestive tract that makes it appealing to some. Apparently, I'm assuming there's quite an extensive cleansing process after they're harvested. But I don't know.
It's not dissimilar to the argan oil and argan nuts, isn't it? Because the goats eat the things off the trees, and then they harvest it from their crap, basically, and then they make it into argan oil.
That's it, exactly. It kind of makes you think, the very first guy who ate a lobster, for instance, you're like, I mean, people love it now, right? I mean, because the especially the meat in the claw and all that's really good meat. But the very first guy looking at that creature going, I bet that tastes good. Not my first thought.
There's Johnny 40 Coats.
There we go.
We were talking about you before. Monkey Thrifter brought something up before. Let me just see. He said, had an email from Parcel to Go which said, we wanted to let you know from May 25th, you will no longer be able to use any of the every drop-off points for InPost services. I've heard the same thing. I'm in a group chat and somebody else mentioned this as well. I don't use this service, but I have heard that that is a thing. So I guess that's going to roll out to everybody who uses their service. Probably they'll get an email. Chavez says, if you're right, every parcel you can drop off, always thought they were the same company. No, right, okay, I get you. What's is it North Carolina you're in? North Carolina. Would you say it's like a tourist place or not so much tourism?
There is quite a bit of tourism. The beaches are really nice. The mountains are really nice. We have quite a few tourists, actually. It's a growing, Central North Carolina here in Raleigh. There's a lot to go and do. I posted a video, but I didn't make it public. My YouTube has got my editing skills are not. This video is not edited at all. It's just raw footage from a GoPro that I wore on my helmet on the motorcycle, and I rode out to the flea market last weekend. And on the way, I passed by the PNC Arena where the Carolina Hurricanes play. If you're into hockey, I guess.
No, not really, but I've heard of them.
Yeah, so they were actually in Hartford, Connecticut for many years. They were the Hartford Whalers, and I want to say probably 25 years ago, they moved the franchise down here to Raleigh, and they've got a big arena. The North Carolina State University College plays their football games there, and their basketball games are in that same arena, but the stadium right beside it. This is all very close to the fairgrounds where the flea market is. And so as I was riding on my motorcycle trip last weekend, I passed under the big banner. It says, welcome to the 2022 Stanley Cup playoffs. And the Hurricanes won their first series. Okay. I don't follow sports much anymore. I was really into sports for the long time. Played baseball as a young person and had high dreams of one day playing, and those sadly came crashing to an end right around high school when I learned I was quite good in my local small area, but nothing compared to the people that make it to the big league. Phenomenal talents. I did enjoy playing, but enjoyed watching for a number of years now. I don't watch any TV at all. Mostly all of our entertainment comes off of YouTube.
I think a lot of people are in that boat. A lot of people do that now.
Yeah, you just watch it whenever you want. You do miss out on things. For instance, yesterday was, you can see it or not. Is that backwards?
Yeah.
That's weird. Anyway, I voted, did my civic duty, but I didn't even know it was voting day. Traditionally, all the big voting, this was a preliminary, whatever they call it, not the big one. This is where all the Democrats and all the Republicans decide who's going to be the main challengers. But normally that's in November. But I was driving home from work yesterday and saw a sign because I don't watch the news and see all the polling places are open. Most of the time they're at a church or a school. Mine is just down the road a mile or so. It's at a little elementary school. And so when I got home, I convinced Mrs. Claus, I convinced my wife Tracy that we should go do our civic duty and go vote. So we did.
Is it an expensive place to live, North Carolina?
Depends on where you are, I guess, but it's gone up and up and up. I'll tell you that. This home, when we purchased it, was probably middle of the road. I don't know if you go to Zillow. Do they have that in the UK? it's just a website that you can plug in your address and they can give you an estimate based on sales of other homes in your area.
Yeah, they have the same thing.
So what they claim this home is worth right now, my Tracy will come and tell me all the time, oh, the new, she'll send me that in a text. She'll say, it's worth this much now. I was like, that's twice what we paid for it.
Mm.
The problem is it's like selling a car. Used cars right now are at just unbelievably high prices.
Yeah.
Well, we could sell this place for twice of what we paid for it. But the problem is you're going to have to move somewhere. And the price of the place you want to buy has also gone up. So
exactly. It's broad as it is long, isn't it?
I was in the Navy for 10 years. About every 3 years, they move you. Growing up as a Marine Corps brat, I moved a lot. And it's a lot of work moving. As you just did.
Twice in 2 years.
I said when we bought this place, I said, this is my last move.
Yeah.
No more moving. I don't care what it's worth.
Yeah, fair enough. I get you. Fun fact from tea cakes: in granulated coffee, there is literally no coffee, only the smell of it that is injected during the process. Who knew?
If you've ever seen a bean before it's been roasted, I know this now because my son roasts the coffee. They're green. It's like I've seen large scale operations like in South America where they, after they're picked, they lay them out and dry them. They're still green, and they bag them up and send them all over the world. Coffee from Hawaii, very potent. Something about the volcanic, whatever the soil is super fertile out there or whatever it is. But
wow,
too. But yeah, they're green. Once you put them in a roaster, basically some sort of heat. They were using a fluid bed roaster to begin with, which is just hot air. It's basically a ginormous hair dryer. Obviously not, a hair dryer machine, but the same kind of concept. You have a big fan blowing across some heat, some coils that have huge amounts of electricity generating the heat, and then you balance the air pressure, and the bed of coffee that you're roasting just floats, and it's tumbling and mixing up, and they all kind of heat evenly. But a fascinating process.
I don't like coffee.
You don't drink coffee?
No.
But you like a chai latte?
I like chai latte, yeah, because that's tea. I don't like coffee. I can't drink it.
A lot of people, when my wife is hiring folks, they have a misconception, she tells me, of how much milk and sugar people want. Even people that have worked at Starbucks, when they come to work for her, she'll notice, hey, you're putting a little too much cream in that. And it's bizarre. People will use whole milk, skim milk, soy milk, oat milk. There's so many different milks, it would blow your mind. But they're always putting in too much. And my wife says it's because of the bitter taste sometimes that you have in different coffee from different locations. I don't drink any coffee, so I'm not saying anything bad about Starbucks. I know people love Starbucks. But she says if you have a good quality bean, a good consistent roast of the bean, and you get she's always telling me she's shooting for not one specific group, some special, she's trying to please the masses. She's trying to get one coffee bean that's not too bitter, not too sweet, just kind of in the middle, nice, consistent. And once you find that, once you got a good quality roasted bean, prepared, correctly, you don't need all the cream and all the sugar to hide the bitterness that maybe you experience from other, national chains. The other thing is if you're buying your beans already ground in a package, Lord knows how long they've been on the shelf, fresh, just having anyone roast any bean from anywhere in any kind of consistency, it's just going to be fresher than what you're buying off the shelf that's been in a package for months. They definitely have a shelf life. Having just fresh coffee prepared anywhere, just try it at any local coffee shop you go to. It's just better. and you won't need nearly as much sugar and nearly as much cream to hide the bitterness that you get from that old stuff.
Interesting processes. Chris says I always let my coffee stand taste a lot better. I've got no idea what about that. I'm not a coffee drinker. We just have one of these coffee machine things that you put pods in and it makes coffee. That's what Belle has.
I think the convenience factor outweighs quite a bit. If you're making it yourself, what can I do quickly and easily?
Yeah, with the best result that you can possibly get for a home.
Tracy's dad, Dave, he just grew up and loved the instant coffee. That's somehow all prepared, all roasted, all brewed, and then freeze dried. And so then you're just adding the water, hot water to it, and reactivating it or whatever.
Right. So, I was going to say Santa, right, Jeff, aka Santa. I think we're done. We're done just over an hour. So.
Well, I appreciate you having me on. I hope I didn't looking at the numbers.
No, it's nice just to chat to different people. So thank you very much for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, I hope I haven't killed your audience looking at the numbers.
Don't be silly.
They've been going down and down and down.
What have you got on for the rest of the day?
Back to work at the phone factory, and what I do is I maintain the emergency power. So everything in the central office is based on the 48 volts DC, and so it's just a matter of maintaining commercial power. We have diesel generators in case the commercial power fails. And then everything in the building is powered by strings of big, huge 300-pound 2-volt batteries stringed together, 24 of them, so you get 48 volts. And those Western Electric people, buddy, they really knew what they were doing. It's just a bulletproof system.
Right.
Commercial power. There are rectifiers in there that are converting the AC from the commercial power to DC, charging the batteries, running all the equipment that all runs off 48 volts DC. So when there's an interruption, commercial power goes out, the equipment never sees a hiccup. There's no UPS, there's no transfer. The equipment is always powered by those batteries. Usually the rectifiers are putting out slightly more than the 48 volts, 52, let's say. And when you lose commercial power, instantaneously that voltage goes back down to around 48. The equipment all works all the way down to like 40 something. So the equipment never sees a hiccup at all. Hopefully we have a generator that I maintain that will start up within a couple minutes, transfer the AC to power those rectifiers so that they come back online and charge the batteries. If it doesn't start, then I have to drive out there quickly and figure out why and get it to run.
Bloody hell.
But it's just a bulletproof system. It's just phenomenal. It's been working. Those batteries, they made them to be a 25-year lifespan. It's literally the same electrical configuration that you'd have in a AA battery, or a C battery or a D battery. It's just bigger. It's got many more plates in it. And they made it to last about 25 years, but the things last for 70 years.
Wow.
And so they kind of, part of the model we were talking about, things with the planned obsolescence, they make things not to last as long. That company, if you make a product that lasts for 70 years, you're going to be out of business. And so they quit making those. They've got newer ones that are more, high capacity, and they don't last nearly as long.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what we were saying.
15 years, exactly.
See, you say that you think you're not so bright, but that just went right over my head. I've got no clue what you're talking about.
I always love to show people they're in town visiting. I bring them into my office and show them, and they're just not impressed. It's just industrial equipment. It's been fun. Working for the phone company is like working for the government. It's a really good place. Almost recession proof. They've had their ups and downs over there, but it's been very good to me for 25 years. I just need 5 more years. If we can just stay in business. 30 years is a magic number for for a lot of places in the U.S. If you hit the magic 30, you can leave with no penalties and take all of your savings and your 401k and all that.
5 years. It's not long. That'll fly by. That you're on the home straight. You're nearly there.
Yeah, we just don't go out of business.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Right, we're done. Thank you, Jeff. Thanks very much. Thanks everyone in the chat. Cheers for popping by this lunchtime, and we'll see you again on the next one. And don't forget, Monday night we've got the guys from Fleek, the new wholesale clothing, vintage wholesale clothing marketplace, are coming on to chat about their new venture, and it is very, very interesting. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you at 8 p.m. Monday night. If not before, you never know, there might be another lunchtime live, but we'll see how we get on. Thanks, Jeff, and thanks everybody. See you later.